Welcome back to the Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Manosphere Highlights Daily. This is about Japanese leftover women and how different these women are from our women. And I almost want to say, if we call these Japanese women leftover women, I don't know what we call the women that hit the wall in the US or in the West. So please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to the chow. It's chow time.
Janice, give me some
I
of
love
that
his production value. It's amazing.
Yes, sir.
今結婚しちゃってるので、遊んでいる時に会話でなんか私の旦那子供の話とかしてて、なんかまあ話をちょっとわからないなって思うこともあるし、友達といる時でも心
It's different how they speak about it in this, how she spoke about it, where women over here are just like, man, they got kids now and they don't even want to hang out with me and stuff. This one, I can't relate to them because they all have kids and families, where the other person wants them to relate to their singleness, where she wants to relate to their coupleness. I guess I would want to say it.
の中はなんかロンリーな感じがちょっとなんかちょっと
Japanese leftover women explain why they are single and lonely. Female nature is universal. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Shout out to Edwards for sending us this video. It's pure gold. It's from the Japan Reporter channel, formerly known as Nobita. Make sure you watch that video, link in the description, because it highlights exactly what we talk about when it comes to female nature. Women are women first.
Yep.
So if you take your talents overseas because you're done with modern Western women, do not expect female nature to change, dating foreign women in foreign countries. It's the societal and cultural differences that will give you a different experience. Janice, make sure this video has timestamps.
Will do, sir.
In part 1, we're highlighting female nature. In part 2, we're highlighting societal and cultural influence. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we men, ain't we?
Yeah.
We men, ain't we?
Yeah. Shit. I love his intro.
9年目です。
Stop it right there. Look at that bed. Look at the dolls. Next woman, Janice.
I swear to God, it's an Asian woman thing to have like dolls and stuff all over your bed. My sister collects dolls and stuff like that, and she has ridiculous amounts because I've bought her ridiculous amounts, plus her boyfriends and things like that.
そうですね、実家で暮らしてます。どういうところがいいですか？どういうところが
Once again, look at that bed. Now listen to this.
9年目です。9年目。はい、結構長い。居心地すごいいい感じです。
Women are childish. And I'm using my words carefully because women have the tendency to feel bashed for not understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth. We made this channel for educational purposes, so we will educate. Janice, childish.
The term childish is often used to describe behavior or actions that are considered immature, irresponsible, or lacking in maturity or judgment. Examples of childish behavior may include throwing temper tantrums, being easily offended, being unwilling to take responsibility for one's actions, or acting impulsively without thinking through the consequences.
That literally describes
There are
women.
key words in this description. Lacking in maturity or judgment. Sleeping with dolls in your bed is immature. Still thinking life is but a dream. Living in Disneyland is immature. Childish is acting impulsively without thinking through the consequences. Impulsive behavior is often driven by emotions or desires rather than reason or consideration of long-term goals. Check this out.
なんか一人でいるときはあんまり思わないんですよ。やっぱりその外に出かけてなんかカップルとかいるとなんか一人っていうのがちょっと寂しいなって感じたりしますね。
寂しい思いをしないかなっていう、なんか東京で暮らしてる時はちょっと心が寂しいっていう、気はちょっとして、そうですね。まあ家に
Tokyo is one of the biggest cities in Japan, and she still felt lonely there. She only feels, like she has somebody to talk to at home because it's of her parents. That's how life is, ladies, in the later stages. This is what men try to tell you about, and what other women that in this stages are lying to you about, that it's so great that you get to live your life and all this. No, it's a life of loneliness.
家族がいると、まあ、話し相手がいるかなって。
Women only feel lonely when they are confronted with loneliness, and that is not a surprise. But we want you to focus on women's behavior. Focus on what they do and not what they say. Check this out.
という人たちは増えてます。本気で人の手を借りて結婚活をしたいっていう人が増えてます。自分でだらだら婚活じゃなくて。
それはどういった背景が？
コロナ禍でどうなっていくかわからない。不安を感じる。家族ってものを見直されてるんですね。何人かと会えないとか決まりがありますよね、いろいろね。お店さえない、閉まってる。でも家族だったらいつも顔を合わせてお家でご飯食べれるのに、一人ぼっちでずっと家にリモートワークをしていて、ろくなことを考えてないですよ。コロナうつが非常に増えてますけれども、で、そういう自分に気がつく人がいるんですね。人とコミュニケーション取らないよ。どんな人間になっちゃうんだろう。結婚しなきゃっていう人が。
It's crazy that women in the West do not realize this at all. They talked about, oh, I'm just trapped and strapped as soon as they were able to get out. I was like, oh, now I don't even want to see anybody anymore. That's how people in the West are.
増えてるんですよ。今までは考えなくてもよかった。やることがいっぱいあった。遊びに行くところも。
Hold up. Did you hear what she said? Read the subtitles.
今までは考えなくてもよかった。やることがいっぱいあった。遊びに行くところも。
They did not have to feel this way. When did we hear that before, brothers?
I remember pre-pandemic, I walked past a group of guys and one of them ran up to me and he said, "Hey, Ma, can I get your number?" And I said, "No," because I didn't know the pandemic was coming.
This is women. We're not just talking about pandemic. This is how women feel about their relationships and how they feel about their later life. They're like, oh, no. And they don't realize time is ticking. And you're going to be lonely the longer and longer you keep this up. The longer you want to be a boss babe, you want to be this career woman, the older you get and the harder it is to have a family. These are facts. These are not us men trying to like shove shit down your face or anything like that. No, these are facts, which women need to realize. And again, it doesn't affect men the same way.
I thought I still had more days outside to reject more men.
Yep, that's how women feel. They love to reject men.
Childish, like a kid in a candy shop. They keep rejecting these guys like it's nothing until something catastrophic happens.
Yep.
When they start running out of candy.
でも今それがシャットアウトされてる。改めて自分の人生を見直ししたっていう期間になってるんですね。あとは会社の中でおつぼねさんたちが結婚できなくてヒーヒー言ってる人たちがいっぱいいるわけでしょ。
This is what's going on. This is exactly what's going on. It's a lot worse over there because these women have less men to choose from. And they're pretty picky over there. But these women are realizing their pickiness is screwing them over.
で、意外と虚しそうなんですって。で、それを見て、ああなりたくない、ああなりたくないって言って若いうちにいらっしゃる方も多いです。
It's not that these women cannot find a mate or at least attract a
so
man.
Look, they're going to find matchmakers at a young age.
Nature, hypergamy. Check this out.
意外とあんまり長く付き合った彼氏実はいなくて、長くて多分2年いかないぐらい。いや、みんな素晴らしい優しい人。
You see that? To be clear, her exes were kind and nice. She doesn't even have bad things to say about her exes. But why is she's still single?
だからその人が悪いとかじゃなくって、自分が分かってないっていうか、どんな人が好きか分かんないとか、求めるところも多かったのかなって。理想があって、そういう人じゃないとなんかがっかりしちゃったりとか、勝手になんか自分の中でなんか求める。
That's exactly how women are. As soon as a man doesn't hit a certain criteria, but another man does, bye-bye. I'll see you next time. And then the next man comes along. It has qualifications that this other man doesn't have. Bye-bye. See you next time. And it goes on and on until you run out of men to choose from.
ものと違うと続かなかったりとか、やっぱり最初の方ってなんかお互いに自分を頑張って見せるじゃないですか。だからそこだけ見て付き合ったりとか、そして慣れてきたらなんか思ってた人と違うとか、そういうちょっと浅いですね。
Right? He isn't her ideal. So pretty much like women in the West. Like these men do not fit every criteria that these women are wanting. And that's why they're turning them down. So shallow, right?
Pure gold. Pure gold. Let's take it a step further.
相手に求めていることっていうの
は
はいどんなことが、
これもね、人によって様々。で、地域によっても様々。ですけれども、相対して総じて言うと、一番は経済力ですね。
Yep, money. Money. Money.
ほとんどが子供を持ちたいです。
Most of them want kids.
41、2歳ぐらいまでは。
中には結構苦しんでいる方というか、
いますね、います
いると思うんで
ね。
すよ
いますいます。
どういったところにこう難しさを感じている。
大体条件じゃないですか。検索するにしても何にしても、優しい人では出てこないんですよ。頼もしい人っていうのもないんですね、項目として。やっぱり数字なんで、学歴、年収、地域とかって結構出てきますけど、そういうところで高い方に行っちゃうんです。男性をオークションみたいにしていくんですね。でもっとこんなに年収1000万もいる、2000万もいるってどんどん高い方にしちゃって、で、結局はそういう人たちは自分を見てくれないとか。
Boom! Perfect. The men that make that kind of money don't usually get attracted to these types of women. And this is why these women keep chasing these men until they're lonely and have no one to choose from anymore, because all the men that used to still, go after them have stopped now because they've aged out.
婚活偏差値って言うんですけど、ご自分が婚活をしている時のこの偏差値がわからないから、
Yeah,
無理だ。
they aren't aware of their current score. This is women in the West. They all think they're 10s, and they all think they belong in the league of the 1%. Just like how she is explaining now, they are clearly out of your league for most women.
だろうというような人たちに申し込んでいっちゃう。でも全然受けてくれない。夢を追っかけていいんだけど、ず
keep chasing
ー
that
っと
dream
追っか
guy.
けていったらですよ、その間に年も取りますよね。
Yep,
っていうこと
older and
で
older.
現実的に自分を客観的に見てくれれば大体結婚できるんです。
Janice, hypergamy.
Hypergamy is the practice or tendency of marrying or forming romantic relationships with a partner of a higher
We all
social
know
class
this,
or
man.
status. The
It doesn't
term is
matter what
derived
country
from
or
the
where it
Greek
is.
words hyper
These are
meaning
just
above
how
and
women
games
are.
meaning marriage.
It doesn't matter where you are in the world. A woman naturally wants your resources. A foreigner from Europe or the States is associated with money, resources, and higher status. Your experience will be different than the local man in that country.
Correct.
It is what it is. When modern Western women want to use shaming language on men that take their talents overseas, saying that these women only want their money and green card, hate to break it to you, but you also want our money.
Right?
You also want to secure the bag.
Correct.
Is that all you got? You see in the previous clip that
He's
female
100%.
nature, hypergamy, starts to overlap.
He's 100% correct. The women like to shame men, like the passport bros and us men, for traveling abroad to find women. And they're like, oh, these women only want you for your money. They only want you for your status. What do you want me for then? Don't you want me for the exact same thing? Except for these women are nicer to me and they're more on my level, or they're willing to get on my level. Where you're not even willing to give me the time of day. So why do you even have an issue with this?
With society and culture, the environment. So let's get into part 2 of this video, societal and cultural influence. Japan is considered to be a developed country, or a first world country. The term first world is often used to describe countries that are industrialized. And
I would say it's part of the West almost, except for that it's literally in the East.
Have a high standard of living. Japan has a strong economy, a high level education, and a high standard of living, which are all characteristics of a developed country.
Yep.
Additionally, Japan is also considered to be a member of the G7, a group of the world's 7 largest advanced economies, which further confirms its status as a first world country. First world country, first world problems, first world hypergamy.
やっぱり40超えてから
そう難しくなるっていうの。
Marriage rate drops significantly after the age of 40. I wonder why. Women, I wonder why. Yes, because your childbearing years are now over. And most men want a family.
のは一人で生きてこれてる成功体験があるので感謝とか出会えて本当に嬉しいねとかっていうことが時にはすごく少なくなってしまわれたりよっぽど一人の方が楽だったよなっていうまた過去の自分に戻ってしまったりと。
But I think it does something to women deep down inside if you know that you make the most money in the household.
I think the difference between us and our grandmothers is their expectations were lower for life. They didn't expect to be happy because black people were treated like shit. We
expect to be happy. Look at how these women speak. Like, you don't think people expect to be happy in their lives? They were just happy with what they had. Unlike you being able to see everything and there's things that you can't get. That's why you're unhappy.
We've seen joy, we've seen wealth, we've seen black millionaires, so we want it. They never saw it, so they didn't want it. They wanted what they had. You're going to marry Cleophas down the street. You're going to get pregnant a bunch of times. You're going to
Not a bunch of times.
And then and he might run off, he might stay, you're going to do, and it's going to be, and that's what it's going to be. When I got married the first time, my parents legit were just like, you're going to go to work, you're going to come home to your husband, and that's going to be your life. And I was like, yo, no. You know what I mean? But that was how
that's exactly how life was.
Because that's what they saw their parents doing. So I feel like there was a shift with the newer generations that was like, we don't want what our parents wanted, we want more.
The moment a country is developed, the moment the country is built, the moment daddy government plays husband, takes over the role as protector and provider, that's when women's attitude kicks in. I don't need you. I deserve better. What have you done for me lately? Culture also plays an important role. Check this out.
特に日本の男性陣が若い女性を好むというところにありますよね。
Ooh, Japanese men tend to be so picky about her age and sticks to marry a young woman. What? I wonder why.
欧米は女性としての熟成度があるから若い方を決して。
So women think that we're so anal about age here. Japanese men are even more anal. This is why there's no such thing as passport hoes, right? Because these women can't go around to other countries and pick up husbands from these countries. They just cannot. I guess it could be passport hoes because they're just traveling to hoe around. I guess that works out. Never mind. I take that one back.
よしとしませんよね。あとはその子供を持ちたいっていう男性はしょうがないと思います。ね、僕長男なのでとか、継承していく必要もあるとか、そこをと思われる。
Yeah, in Japan, passing your bloodline and being the eldest is a big deal. Even my family is a big deal. I'm the oldest out of all of my dad's siblings. He is the only one that doesn't have grandchildren. It actually looks bad on him. So even his younger sister has his younger sister has one grandchild now. So I don't plan on having any kids soon. So it's going to be a while for him. But he's probably like freaking out. Well, he is freaking out because he knows he wants to pass the bloodline down. It's either me or my brother. And my brother is the total opposite of me. And we're talking about incel, plays video games all day and just doesn't do anything. That's my brother.
男性が多くていらっしゃりそうな気もするので。
あとはですね、日本の場合は毒親っていうのがいっぱいいるんですね。強制してこれダメあれダメそれダメって断る。で本人同士はもういいって言ってるのに、こんな人は許さないとかって言って引き裂く人もいますので、何回も潰されました。まだまだ日本は家と家のつながりっていうのが名残があるんですね。だから何々。
You hear that? In Japan, it's still a marriage between homes, not individuals. It's a marriage that sticks families together and builds a bigger family. That's how Asians at least view it.
何々家。そこにふさわしいかふさわしくないか。お母様と世代が違うわけ
です。That's why parents had so much involvement.
専業主婦で育ってますよ。お母さんたちは専業主婦ですから。 時代的に。その感性であなたの結婚する人はこういう人よっていうのを刷り込まれても、社会背景がお母さんの世代と違うので、そこでものすごく悩み苦しむ人もいます。
The Japanese have strong family values. Japanese women will not blatantly disrespect their elders, her family. It's the culture that's keeping these women in check from going all overboard.
Correct.
Like this.
I think girls who go and have their casual sex should not be slut shamed. In the 50s, you were a slut. Now you're an icon. And I'm definitely an icon.
This is why you take your talents overseas. You don't want a culture that supports women that are for the streets.
Yep.
Like I've said before, in previous videos, some of these movies or TV shows are censored or banned in certain countries because of cultural differences or political motives. So wherever you go, always remember that women are women first.
Yes.
Protect yourself at all times.
男に求める条件が高すぎるんじゃないかっていう。なんか理想が高いからなかなかいい相手見つからないんじゃないみたいな。
でも昔はちょっと理想が高かったかもしれないです。今の
Too picky about men's looks.
かっこいい人とか言ってられない、なんか中身大事だなって。
See, these women are admitting the things that women in the West are not willing to admit. They care for looks. I get comments, oh, you know, I want a nice guy that wants to take care of me. No, bitch. You want him to look good first. If he doesn't even look good, you won't even give him the time of day. Like, that's just period. Even if he has money, he has to look somewhat decent. You know, even uggos with money, you're like, maybe. But when a normal guy comes up to you and he isn't good looking, there's no chance for you to even meet the personality side. So stop talking about personality. Yes, women pick up personality after they've picked how he looks first. Stop commenting stupid shit on my stuff, talking about how women pick this, women do this. We know. We definitely know. We for the last 20 years, men have been told what women want. We have been trained on these things. Women have no clue what the fuck we want. And we've been trying to tell you guys right now. But you guys seem to still think through your women brain that what we want is the exact same thing that you guys want. It's not the same.
思いました。
でもやっぱりかっこよくなくても
See,
いい
these
ですけ
people
ど、
realize,
素敵だな。
these women realize that. The women in the West have not. They are still doubling down. They still think they can get that 1% man at 40 years old, at 39 years old. These women actually realize, ah, shit, I was too picky. Now I'm going to have to like lower my standards a little bit. Women in the West, nope, my standards are my standards. I get what I need. I don't want to settle. I can't settle. No settling. No settling. This is why men say, okay, no settling, die alone and buy a dog. And again, in the comments, don't stop telling women to die alone and buy a dog and die alone. We're not telling you to do that. You are telling us, in a sense, that you wanted to do that because you're not willing to settle for lesser men when you don't qualify for the tier you're looking for.
やっぱ思いたいって思う。やっぱり性格が合うってすごい大事じゃないですか。すごい楽とか、なかなか私はまだそこまでなく。でもそれはすごい私求めてて、やっぱ一緒にいてすごい楽しいとか楽とか。
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.
How is that foreign chow? I mean, these women aren't too different from the women in the West, other than they actually realize, and they are aiming a little bit lower to find a mate and find a man that will be with them because they know they're going to be lonely. Remember, you're 40, 35. Most women live up to be 80 or 90 years old. That's another 50 to 60 years. That's a long time to be lonely. Again, men, most of us end up lonely. It's a normal thing. It is not a normal thing for women to do that. So, it's a crazy world. So, I'll link this video and then the original video and then his channel on here too, because please help support the man. These amazing contents. So, please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.